1. So now Polonius has been murdered by Hamlet, and this has created a crisis. And also within this crisis, Claudius sees this now as the perfect opportunity to get rid of Hamlet legitimately. Remember that previously he had been talking about sending Hamlet away, but now he can do it as quickly as possible. And he says, "Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered?" So, what would that bloody deed be? It's the murder of Polonius. Gertrude tries to cover for Hamlet by saying that he is truly mad. So remember now that Hamlet has revealed to Gertrude that Claudius murdered her late husband. Obviously, she's not sure whether this is true, and she's not sure whether Hamlet is mad or not. Why is that? Because remember, when the ghost appeared to Hamlet again, she saw him talking into the air, and she thought that this must be a sign of madness. She also tells Claudius that Hamlet is weeping for what he has done, which is not true. After the murder of Polonius, Hamlet calls him a fool. Claudius is determined to get rid of Hamlet as quickly as possible, and he says his liberty is full of threats to all. Now think about whether this is true. Is Hamlet a threat to everybody, or is he just a threat to Claudius? He also realizes that if he was hiding behind the arras with Polonius, he would have been killed. And he says, "It had been so with us had we been there." So remember, the us and the we is referring to the royal we. Okay, if you were royalty in those times, you talk about yourself in the plural. You wouldn't say me and my, you'll say us and we. Then Claudius calls the two traitors, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, to help him. The plan is to send Hamlet on a ship to England, accompanied by Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Hamlet accuses them of being sponges to the king, meaning that they hang on to the king and they don't question his advice. They absorb everything like a sponge. Okay, so they're not very discerning, they're not very intelligent. He also warns them that they will be discarded once they are no longer useful to Claudius. Claudius says how dangerous it is this man goes loose. So who is Hamlet dangerous for? Is he truly dangerous? This sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. So Hamlet will be suddenly sent away to England, and Claudius wants people to think that this is a result of his own careful thinking to protect other people. Now, is this true? And remember, with all of these events, the theme of appearance versus reality. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern tell Claudius that they cannot get from Hamlet where the body of Polonius is. And Hamlet continually outwits Claudius. Hamlet tells Claudius that Polonius is at supper, not where he eats, but where he is eaten. So think carefully, what is Hamlet implying here? He says that someone may catch a fish with a worm that has been eating the body of a king, and other people can eat the fish that was caught with that worm. So in this, Hamlet shows us that social status means nothing when people die. They will all become food for worms, whether king or common person. This is very insulting to Claudius, who is obsessed with his own status and position. He wants to make himself look good. Claudius demands to know again where Polonius' body is. Hamlet replies, "In heaven." He tells Claudius that he can send a messenger to find him there. And if Polonius is not there, go and seek him in the other place yourself. So what is the other place? You should be able to deduce from that sentence. And what is he implying about Claudius when he talks about Claudius should go to the other place to find Polonius? Claudius informs Hamlet that he will be sent to England. So note throughout this scene how Hamlet responds to Claudius with jokes, puns, and innuendo. In a brief speech to the audience, Claudius talks about his plans for Hamlet. He has sent a letter with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, which will be delivered to the King of England. This is a very important part of the plot. The letter informs the King of England that as soon as Hamlet arrives, he must be put to death. At the end of that scene, he says, "Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages." So Hamlet is causing problems for Claudius.